to another vlog. It is Sunday and we are having a really lovely day. Dylan is not usually off on the weekends, but he's here, which is great. So we got a little coffee this morning and walked around the lake, and now we're just cooking up some breakfast. And I know some of you wanted to see more vlogs and more meal prep ideas, so I'm gonna show you what we got. Yeah, we can make eggs.
Make them in the muffin cup.
Oh, go for it, babe.
How long does this thing take?
Probably 15 more minutes.
15 minutes, huh?
Yeah. I was thinking of throwing in some broccoli.
No.
No?
For breakfast?
Well, just a little bit. He loves this. I like the grapefruit juice at TJ's myself, which doesn't sound bad right now. Alright, so you take your egg.
I don't know what you take.
This is just spontaneous?
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
I mean, I've seen people do it before. These all, when I go to Costco tomorrow, we should just hard boil the rest of these. Mm-hmm. It's 12, and we'll just go get another rack tomorrow.
Rack City.
Rack City, and a rack of ribs.
Perhaps a salad? Perhaps not. I have a rack of ribs smothered in onions.
Is that White Chicks?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You approve, babe?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Happy Sunday. Okay, I wanted to show you guys a little updated coffee routine. I just make it in here. And I'm doing decaf because caffeine is not amazing for the skin. So, I know, sad day. So I put it in here, refrigerate it overnight, and then I've been doing a little of the milk, almond milk, which is great ingredients, no weird fillers. Just do a little ice in there. Then I take the nut pods just for a little sweet cold foam, put it in here, and then we top the coffee with it.
Talk about, like, just take the topic of building a business or building a brand, like, that takes a lot of focus and a lot of concentration. And if you're spending a good amount of your time going out, partying, drinking, you know, ruining your mind, smashing yourself every night, like, that's going to take a lot of the focus away. And then you're competing with people that may have a tremendous amount of focus, and so they're going to surpass you because they're not doing some of those poor behaviors.
One value and principles in my life is that you're 100% responsible for your life. 100%. And so many people want to fight me on that, but honestly,
If it's not you, then who is it, right?
you're 100% create your life. And I think that's the biggest thing that motivated me when I first started getting into this space, because I had that epiphany, that realization, wait, I can control the outcome to an extent. You know, obviously we want to leave room for the universe to do its thing, but you know, I can control whether or not I'm successful, whether or not I'm happy in a great relationship, in the body that I love being in. That's in my control. affirmations, getting myself in a state, priming myself. If you learn a routine to help you prime yourself in the morning, no matter what that looks like, you're set for the day. I always like to say, and this is a quote that I made, and I'm really, really happy with how a lot of people like this quote, and they post it on their backgrounds on their phones and stuff because it's such a great reminder. Your mornings create your days, and your days create your weeks create your months, and your months create your years, and your years are your life. Like, we all know this, but think about it in that way, in that structure. The kind of person who struggles around food anymore, that like you need to change your self-image. Nothing in your life will change until your self-image changes. So what I like.
Good morning vlog. So it is Monday and I'm just getting ready to record a little podcast with my friend Courtney. She's so cute. She's so excited. I feel like she's been prepping for this for a while and we've been so excited. And it's funny, like, you know, you have those friends on Instagram you talk to every day, but you've never had a conversation on the phone or in person. But I'm finally going to get to talk to her today and we're going to share her story on the podcast. So I just can't wait. I'm making a little bit of breakfast. By making, I mean assembling. I have these this overnight oats concoction. I think I need to give it a stir, but it is just overnight oats, chia, pumpkin seeds, almond milk, a little bit of pumpkin spice, and the vegan protein powder I had. So I'm gonna have that, and I might have it with a little bit of yogurt. Okay, I'm obsessed with Janelle from TikTok. She was keto for a long time. I think that's how a lot of people know her, but she's not anymore. But I just love her recipes. They're so easy, and she inspired me to combine the oats with the yogurt. I know for some people that might be a little freaky, but I think it's gonna be good. And that is it. That is our little breakfast. This would be so easy if you needed like a quick, easy meal idea for school or for work. I feel like you could eat this just in your car on the go. That is so good. I made the oats before bed last night, shook it up, threw it in the fridge, and I knew I'd have a little easy breakfast. Some days it's kind of feels like a lot of work to make eggs, or I don't know. I feel like the easier the better in the morning. All set up for my podcast with Courtney, and I was just thinking, I don't know if you guys think this is weird, but I've been podcasting for 2 years now and I still get kind of nervous for every single episode. Like, you would think by now it doesn't really faze me. It's not like extreme, but I do get a little pre-show anxiety. I wonder if that's normal or like a sign. I don't know. It's something that's interesting is I don't think a lot of things like come easy to me like it would to somebody else, but I still try. And I've said this before, I don't think I'm like the most exceptional podcast host you've ever heard. Like, I was never somebody who, I don't know, would just be that natural go-to hosting kind of personality. But it's funny because I love listening to stories. I love asking questions. I do love one-on-one conversations. So in that way, it kind of makes sense. But I feel like when something's a challenge for me, it's almost like exposure therapy. Like, I want to do things that are hard for me, like podcasting or putting myself out there, because I feel like in a small way, it helps me grow, even if I it doesn't seem like it day by day, because if I were to look at myself 5 years ago, I would have never thought I was doing a lot of these things, and I don't do them perfectly, but I do try. So that's what I was thinking. Let's see. We've got 10 minutes. So if you guys listen to my podcast, it's called The Treatment Room, by the way, on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Check it out. Pretty informative for estheticians and for just people who like learning about skin. I like to bring on experts, and I have a couple newer episodes that are going to be coming out with just friends and people I'm close to through Instagram. I want to highlight different types of spa owners, and especially people I'm close to, because I feel like those conversations are bound to be more natural, and that's kind of what I want to go for. Sometimes you get guests as a podcaster who, you know, really want to know the questions ahead of time. They kind of want like a roadmap, and I think my vibe lately is kind of going to be leaning away from that a little bit, just because I want it to flow and be a conversation, and I don't want it to be like too constructed. A little bit of preparation is necessary, I think, for good interviews, but at the same time, I want them to be more conversational. So we're gonna try that. I had a few questions, and I was thinking I could answer them in like a little Q&A before I get this podcast started. Tips for mental health and still working on your business. I feel like I've realized this way too late, and it probably seems like common sense, but rest is so productive, and I'm definitely, as a more anxious person, it's really hard for me to sit still, and I think I can feel, I'm trying not to identify with this too much anymore and kind of let go of this self-belief that I feel guilty when I'm not busy 24/7. And it's hard, I think, when you do a lot of social media and your work is very kind of mixed. Your work isn't traditional work, you know? Like, it's not like I leave the office, close my computer, and, you know, it's like things don't come up until Monday. I don't even know if that job exists, but especially because I live where I work, and a lot of my work revolves around I guess myself, and kind of capturing a lot of my life and sharing it. It can be hard to turn it off. And what I think I've noticed, because I started social media when I was just, you know, I had a part-time job and I was going to school. I started YouTube and I wanted to commit to 1 video per week. Now it's like, not only do I have YouTube, but I have the podcast, I have TikTok, I have Instagram, then I have my actual business working with clients, and then I have my product line, which is like another separate business. So it's really hard for me to let go of old goals, like posting to YouTube once a week. I don't want to let go of that, but at the same time, I have all these new things that have come into my life. And so I used to be the type of person to work, I mean, I'd say my hours are not as, you know, strict. It's not like 9 to 5. My days are more chill typically, but I do work every day. And now I'm starting to feel like I don't love that. And this weekend, Dylan is a baseball coach, so typically he's also working on the weekend. He has school practices during the week, and then on the weekends they have camps and whatnot, so he's not typically home. But I realized waking up today, I was like gung-ho, excited to go back to work and just ready to hit the ground running, whereas normally when I work on Sunday night especially, I head into Monday just like kind of already running out of steam, and I never want to feel burnt out in my business. So I'm trying to be more intentional about, even if there's something on my list that needs to get done, I am trying to realize there's always going to be something I could get done, especially because social media is so cyclical. You have to produce new content all the time. There's always going to be a need for more. And I want to stick with it, but at the same time, it's like life can really pass you by if you're working in your business and you don't get that perspective of stepping away from it for a little bit, which I think is really necessary to get fresh eyes. Okay, podcast in 6 minutes, so I'm gonna leave the Q&A there. Check in with Court, and I'll see you guys after, and we'll make a little lunch.
How cool if you could go get a treatment that totally relaxed you, but also changed your skin, and put your clients on like a prescription regimen where they're using your home care, they're replenishing the home care from you, so you have that as your extra passive income as well.
Right.
And then you have them on a treatment plan, and they're coming in. I have my clients either monthly, every 2 months, or every quarter are the only options. I tell people if they want to just come in once a year for a fluff and buff, if you beg me, I'll really do it for you. But that's not what I do.
I have a question.
Because I want to see you.
Yeah,
See more, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, what's your question?
I wanted to ask, how is it as a more soft-spoken person to implement boundaries and kind of the rules of your business?
Oh, geez. Wow, that's a loaded question, Tess.
I know.
That's what I'm learning every day, like do's and don'ts. I'm definitely still making mistakes with that.
Okay.
But
tell us more.
for me, the consultation is it's the very first appointment you can make with me.
Okay.
And I basically won't even touch your skin until we have an hour where we sit down and talk about your skin and what your expectations are and how I can help you. Based on what I do and what I specialize in, because what I find is people will come in and they'll be having this whole other expectation and they won't even really know what I do exactly. So I basically look at the consult as it's not an interview for your client, because they're kind of interviewing you as well, but you're kind of seeing in that hour if you are a good match for that personality, and that what you offer is what they need, and if they're going to be committed to that process, and that if they're going to be compliant to kind of the do's and don'ts to get the results in the first place. Otherwise it is a waste of time, for both people. So
yeah, I honestly love that you do that.
Yeah, it seems a little strict, and I feel bad doing it sometimes, but the times I haven't done that and I just let someone in my treatment room and I just do a nice relaxing facial on them, and then I never see them again, because we have no treatment plan.
Right.
They didn't buy the product that I wanted them to buy. They had no expectations of what I wanted out of them. And I just found that it kind of like hurt my schedule a little bit, because I only have so much time that I can do treatments.
Yeah.
So it's like I want to make the most of the time that I have in the treatment room with the people that really are benefiting from me on all aspects, not just treatments, but products as well.
I think that's so smart, and I realize that the more time I spend running my business, that it's the clients where you didn't reinforce the expectation from the beginning, that they're not invested, and then they're confused why they're not seeing what they want to see, and you're a little off put because you wish you had done that from the beginning.
Yeah. It's when I'm lazy and I don't do something that comes back to bite me in the butt.
Or not even lazy, but sometimes you want to appease people, and you want to be a yes person, but I think it's just proof we have boundaries for a reason, right?
Yes, definitely. And it's really hard, because you do feel bad when you tell someone, hey, if you don't follow my recommendations, you're probably not going to see results and you're going to be really upset with me. So I have to tell you exactly the steps that need to be taken in order for you to get those results.
Yeah, baby. Wonder if all my bad decisions get accounted in the algorithms. No statistician could dissuade me from my bigger vision. I know my occupation's quite an unlikely place in this world to occupy and talk about upon a daily basis. Our information's predetermined by some biased business. We all in sermon to silicon that push out lovely neighbors. I'm done with paper chasing, think I'm on the...
I just got out of the shower. I have to take a shower in the morning and at night. I feel like it just kind of, it's my wind down signal. They're not very long showers, but I just have to. And I'm applying the CBD mist, which if you don't have this mist, you need to put it on your Christmas list. I'll link it below. It's not cheap, but I'd say it's more like a serum meets a toner. So it's not just, you know, a basic hydrating mist, which Glymed has skin recovery mist if you want something kind of basic. But if you want to target pigment, redness, oil imbalance, and just have the experience of the CBD mist, it's really, really good. I'll link it below. Definitely something, if you don't want to spend on yourself, it's a good item to ask for. I love gifting this to my girlfriends for their birthdays. They get so excited. And fun fact, the reason we use toner, I'm applying the Glymed Plus Amino Acid Serum. This is a good go-to for anti-aging and hydration. It has aloe. It's just super hydrating and helps to build back the barrier. So I like to put this on actually before my tretinoin, just to give myself a nice hydrated base. I wanted to tell you guys, a lot of SDs are trained, myself included, to think we need toner to balance our pH. I just took an acne course with one of my mentors, Douglas Preston. Highly recommend the course. I'll link it below. He says that our pH actually neutralizes on its own after about 15 minutes after you've washed your face. He says the real reason you want to use a toner, especially if you're acneic, is because of the trace minerals that are left behind from our tap water. So sometimes you can see that after you rinse a glass, you can see kind of the milky color from the trace minerals. But we want to remove that with a cotton pad and your mist, and then go in with the rest of your skincare. So tonight I'm using good old tretinoin 0.05%. Some of you ask me if I can let you know if you're a candidate for tretinoin and you need to talk to your doctor about it, because I'm not a dermatologist and I don't prescribe medication, and I don't want to, I don't know, sometimes I'm nervous about you guys thinking everything I use is what you should use, and it's not always the case. Tretinoin doesn't work for everyone. Retinol actually doesn't work for everyone, but it works pretty well for me, and I love it. It can also depend where you live. Like, I have a friend, Courtney, who I did the podcast with, and we were chatting, and she was saying how none of her clients really would be able to use Tret because she lives in such a high altitude, like tiny mountain town. So people get too irritated there using Tret. Skincare is not one size fits all. There's a lot of nuances. So always best to be careful, and I always recommend my clients really easing things into the routine, because I can have a whole game plan in mind, but somebody could have a random reaction or allergy to one ingredient. So always recommend patch testing and easing your clients into a routine slowly, or if you're a consumer, buy things slowly and introduce a new routine slowly. Let's say you just went to the Sephora sale and you want to use everything tonight. That's the recipe for damaging your skin and dealing with unnecessary irritation. So one product at a time. I'd say one product every 3 to 5 days is a good idea. I usually let my Tret absorb for about a minute or two, and then I go in with moisturizer. I'm using the Daily Repair Mega Moisture Cream. I love this cream because it feels thick and luxurious, but it's actually okay for my acne clients who feel a bit dry, or more normal skin types like myself. I'm a little bit combo. This has onion bulb, which is fantastic for acne and a moisturizer, and it feels a little tingly. Handy dandy CBD eye cream from Glymed Plus. Just a grain of rice size is perfect. And this eye cream is potent. I love it for dark circles or fine lines. You definitely want to ease this one into the routine. Start with once a day, work your way up to 2 times a day. Don't be afraid to work around the eye area. We need movement because blood flow loves to get stagnant underneath our eyes. Okay, I'm gonna finish with is Clinical Youth Lip Elixir. Can't forget to treat our lips. I kind of want to do a video on lip care. I think that's going to be my next video, especially in winter time, because that's when we all get a little crusty. It's okay. This is the Glymed Plus Cell Balm, which everyone needs. I just ordered this for Courtney so she can have it in Colorado. And a couple last steps. I'm going to take the Lash Food Lash Serum. I'm going to treat my neck with the Skin Medica Neck Correct Cream. I think I like this. That's my nighttime routine. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this wasn't super juicy, but I know it's sometimes fun to just watch people doing their normal routines. So thank you guys so much. I love you, and I will see you in the next video.